Good morning. Welcome to our daily devotion. It is Tuesday. It is July 27th, getting close to the end of the year. It is also my granddaughter Maya's birthday today. The family is going to Water Park, Soak City today to celebrate her birthday. We got to celebrate it with her Saturday night. So happy birthday, Maya. Good morning, Serena. Morning, John. Morning, Will. Good to see you again. I asked for some prayer. I had to take my wife to the doctor last night. She had severe vomiting, diarrhea, couldn't stand, was dizzy. Took her in, and they ended up admitting her. She has a severe infection somewhere in her body that they're going to be treating. So lift her up in your prayers, would you? We're going to talk about a big word today in the Bible, and it's a small word with a big meaning. Morning, Marcy. Advice. Advice is guidance for a future decision. We all have to make these big decisions in our lives. We can make these big decisions on our own, or we can seek the advice from people that we respect and trust. We've all had to make big decisions in our lives. Some of you, maybe you're at a point in your life right now where you have to make a big decision. I know my son with his business has to make big decisions. My other son now, just constant decisions that we have to make. And God tells us that it's foolish to try and make these big decisions just on our own. Listen to what he has to say here. I'm going to be reading from Proverbs. Proverbs is called the Book of Wisdom, and as young people know, and maybe some of you know, I've taught you many times, wisdom is the ability to make the best decision possible. So here in Proverbs 12:5 says, "The plans of the righteous are just, but the advice of the wicked is deceitful." What God is saying here is only a fool makes decisions asking someone that they don't trust. If you don't respect someone, then don't take their advice. I constantly get advice from people. People are constantly telling me what to do with collision. Now, as an example, I'm not going to listen to marriage advice from someone that's cheating on their spouse. I'm not going to listen to advice on collision from someone that hardly ever shows up to collision. God tells us only a fool listens to the advice of fools. So make sure you have people in your life that you totally respect. Listen to this in 12:15. It says, "The way of a fool seems right to them, but a wise person listens to advice." What God is saying here is a fool just takes their own advice all the time. A wise person listens to advice. I cannot count how many times I have taken the advice of someone that gave me great advice and made a great decision as a result of it. Doing things that I would never have done if I hadn't listened to them and their advice. God, morning, Lily. Morning, Christina. God constantly puts people in our lives that have wisdom that we can go to seek advice. Proverbs 19:20 tells us this. It says, "Listen to advice and accept instruction, and in the end you will be wise." So it's not just listening to the instruction, but it's accepting it. It's doing it. So sometimes someone gives us great advice, we go, "Wow, that was a great advice," and then we don't do anything with it. We don't do it. We don't do what they said we should do. So don't just listen to it. Accept their advice. Do what they said to do. In Proverbs 20:18, it tells us this: make plans by seeking advice. Whenever you have a big decision to make, seek the advice of the people in your life that you respect and that you trust. Seek their advice. As you've just heard now, God just gave us great advice. God just gave us great advice, telling us to seek advice from those in our lives that we trust and respect. So, who do you have in your life? Who do you have in your life that you trust, that you respect, that you can go to when you have a big plan or a big decision to make in your life? Do you have people like that in your life that you just totally trust? And the bigger question is, how willing are you to listen to that advice, to act on that advice? Remember, God tells us that being wise is seeking their advice and then acting on their advice. Now, this doesn't mean that we have to take their advice all the time. This doesn't mean that every time they tell you to do something, you just do what they tell you. You have to weigh out what they tell you. You have to decide whether what they're telling you is right or not. That's why sometimes when I have a big decision to make, I seek the advice of multiple people, not just one person. Or if I listen to the advice of someone and I question, don't know if that's, so that I go to someone else and say, this is what someone told me that I should do. What do you think? And then ask someone else what they think. It's important to have people like that in your life, to seek the advice of. Don't try to do it on your own. And then, of course, we seek the advice of the Lord. Ask the Lord. You all heard this story of this man that was on the roof of his house because it was raining so much and it was flooding. And he was on the first floor, and then finally went to the second floor, and it kept on raining and kept on pouring, so finally he was on his roof. And a guy on a canoe came by and said, "Whoa, get in the canoe, I'll help you." And the guy said, No. I trust in the Lord. I'm trusting in the Lord. He'll take care of me. Don't worry. So the guy goes on, and then a guy in the motorboat comes by a little bit later. Says, "Get in the boat." And the guy said, No, I trust the Lord. I'm okay. A little while later, a helicopter came by and dropped a ladder down, and told him, "Get on, you're going to drown." And the guy said, No, I'm trusting in the Lord. And then finally he drowned. And when he met the Lord, he said, "Lord, I had total trust in you. I can't believe I had total trust in you, and you allowed me to drown." And you know what the Lord said to the man? "I sent 3 people to help you. I sent the rowboat, I sent the motorboat, I sent the helicopter." The Lord answers our prayers many times when we seek His advice by putting people in our lives to speak to us. Remember what I tell you all the time. The Lord speaks to us 3 ways. He can speak directly to us, definitely speaks to us through His Word, and He can speak to us through other people. All 3 of those. Listen to all 3 of those, because sometimes when you're listening to the Lord, you question yourself. You start saying, "Was that really the Lord that told me that, or was that my own mind that was telling me to do that?" So many times the Lord confirms it by speaking through other people to you. So take the advice. Seek advice. First of all, seek advice. Remember, advice is guidance for a future decision. Seek the advice from people that you love, that you trust, that you respect, and don't make a big decision without doing that. Amen. Hey, God bless you all. Some of you may have a big decision that you need to make right now. Don't make it just on your own. Don't just assume that you know what to do. Seek the advice, ask the Lord, and the Lord will put people in your life that will give you wisdom, the ability to make the best decisions possible. If this meant something to you, share it so others can hear the word. Otherwise, I'll see you again tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Tonight is Impact. We'll be meeting again at my house. That's 6:30 to 7:30 for the younger youth. Looking forward to having my granddaughters there so we can celebrate Maya's birthday with the rest of the group. God bless you all. Have a great day, okay? God bless.